it changes the way you see the world in that way, that the theory of what you're learning and the way that it goes into practice also relates to everything else in your life.
I decided to be a Montessori teacher. That was the moment. It was the most important moment in my life.
Montessori Northwest has been training teachers since 1979. I think over the years, when people think about Montessori Northwest, they think of us as a teacher training center. Honestly, what we're working to accomplish is to really inspire people to think about education in a new way. That's what we're trying to accomplish with the Alder program, as well as all of our community outreach. We would like to demonstrate how Montessori can be effective in a variety of settings, not just in a private school, not just with affluent families, and especially in communities where there's a lot of ethnic diversity.
Alder's demographic group of children are children that are disadvantaged financially and socially. The most remarkable thing that has happened here is truly what Montessori talks about. A prepared environment can make a difference in a child's life. And as soon as they stepped into the classroom, it was like something clicked for them. This classroom is a model that people can see of what a beautiful, well-presented, well-developed environment can really do for the children. And I think that this is the change that we need to really look at in the education of the day. It is truly an education for life. It is truly an education taking into consideration the needs of the human being. And I think this is what makes it so remarkable.
I really like that this method just is a lot more about responding to children and responding to their needs and their wants. I think of like my cousins and stuff who are those little kids who have been expelled at like 4 years old, and just like knowing that something like this would help.
I think a lot of children grow up in a world where, they go to school and they do what they're supposed to do, and they essentially wait through their childhood until they can finally have the freedom to make choices and learn for themselves what is important to them and what they want to do in the world.
The Montessori paradigm of education is important because what it really does is work to nurture the child as a human being and as a person. And I think that Montessori sort of takes education to a larger step, a more all-encompassing, cosmic way of looking at the world, and where it's not just black and white and here's the information you need to know and I'm going to tell it to you, but how can we develop you as a good person? And AMI really stood out as sort of the gold standard, and I really value that.
I'm really excited to maybe bring it to like more diverse, ethnically diverse communities, especially now knowing where Montessori started, which was basically like the projects in Italy, that it'd be a very beneficial kind of learning to have access to as, maybe a person of color or someone who's on a lower socioeconomic status.
The child has this innate drive, and that your idea or your goal as a teacher, as an educator in a Montessori classroom, is to support that drive as opposed to do the driving. I want to, in my do work that in some way, quote, makes the world a better place. And so what I've ended up focusing on in my life is how can I help the people that I'm in close contact with to have as rich a life as possible.
I think that the greatest thing that I can hope for is to be able to create an environment that is a free space for children to take control of their own learning and work together to become their truest selves.
I've always had this very strong feeling of responsibility for the future, and so any way that I can really feed that and help that is exactly what I want to be doing.
I saw how the Montessori school prepare all the children not for school. All the Montessori school, I just discovered that prepare all the children for life, for real life.